So now we're going to do the back strap on this side, guys. So what I like to try to do is clean off some of the silver skin a little bit where you have any bloodshot like this, and just kind of expose it. You can kind of take that one layer right off of there. And this is where I like to take that big tendon off with it, with this layer. And it just exposes that neck meat a little bit more right through here to be able to get started. So what we do is typically you'll find there's a separation of meat right here that is just the beginning of the back strap. And I like to take that with because it's just, there's meat there, so you want to take that with. And so what we do is just kind of come in there and start that separation down from the top part of the ribs, and your aim is to get back to this little point of the hip, and you just kind of got to cut through some of that fat that's there in the sinew, and you'll find a separation of meat. Feel the ribs and stay right along there, and you'll find a separation of meat there that will expose that back strap. And just kind of start with it right there and then follow it back forward, just peeling some of that off. This is kind of grind material here, and not much there, but it is good grind. I like to kind of scrape it off those bones, and we'll clean up a little bit of this later too and make a separate bag. And we're going to come all the way up here and take a lot of this neck meat with the back strap, the neck meat that we didn't get with the front shoulder. You'll get to a point, a spot here where you'll see this little separation, and there's like a yellow sinew in between here that's part of this whole tendon system, and that's kind of the separation between the two pieces of meat on the neck. And so we're just following the vertebrae. This is the vertebrae right here, and you'll find that right there is where it kind of peel that last bit of neck meat off with just kind of working up the top of that now spine. Is come in from the top side, and you find this tendon here and you get rid of that thing, and that's that separation I'm talking about. Just let that sit aside there, and you can find the spine here and start to peel off the back strap off of the back side of that, the top of those bones right there. So now you can kind of keep working down the top of the spine here, finding that top and making your cut down alongside those vertebrae. And start peeling this neck off like this, underneath, right off of the vertebrae. And once you get it started, this is what I like to do here with the tripod, is get it started like that and actually use the tripod. Of course, if you had another guy here, he's my cameraman right now, so we're trying to do this by myself as if you were by yourself. But of course you can have another guy grab it. I like to just use the tripod to be that other guy. And again, it takes a little bit more time to set up, but all you got is time right now, right? So you get that to lock and just kind of hold it there, and you can kind of start repositioning the legs to hold that up for you while you peel this off. You can reposition it, pull it up a little higher. Now sometimes you got to actually kind of pull down and put some weight in there to get that knurled roll pin in there to bite and lock the rope up, because there's not a lot of weight hanging here, and you just got to kind of get it to lock. You want to find those short ribs. There's 5 little short ribs back here. I'm finding those short ribs that are between the rib cage and the hip. And there's a pretty easy separation right there that you can make. And pull that around and keep working it off of the vertebrae. And again, we're going to pull this up again one more time. Just give it a tug. Lock. And now you kind of have that held up. Now we have the back of the hip here. You feel that bone, and that's the hip bone. You want to kind of come inside of that and go way in here to get that back strap all off of there. It goes way back in there like that. So you can't really go wrong by putting your knife down in there because it's pretty well boned all the way into there. And just end up separating that point out. Right? Sometimes you got to reposition the legs a little bit back further, kind of walk the tripod back and keep working that back. I need to come down here now and finish my cut out the bottom. There's a really thick tendon right down there. It's kind of hard to get through. Now we've separated that off. And so what we're going to do here now, is unhook this now and kind of get this to where we can get it to the center. So I like to pull a little bit of rope out. Oops. Get it figured out here. So you pull a little bit of rope out. And you want to find the center of this, just kind of hold it like that. And wrap this cord around about the center of that whole thing, where you can kind of suck it up like that, and it kind of folds it in half. And then you end up pulling that up tight, get it to lock, and we can start to wrap this up now. You could just slide that in a game bag, and I get it. Yeah, so much easier. But again, the game bag will just dry out in a few hours. It'll start to dry, and then it kind of sticks to it like duct tape. This is just putting the hide back on. But without the hair. Get it started here. And I like to just kind of get it started, fold it right in half like that. Go around it a few times. Sometimes you got to tuck in some of that neck meat that we brought with it. You just kind of work it around like that until you get that much done. And then you want to grab it like this, unhook it, and then pull that hook right back through. So you want to pull that hook back through. Sometimes it can get hooked on some sinew there, but you can kind of just pull that through. Now you got your little baby here that you want to just try to get wrapped around the bottom and go around the top. Just while you're holding it there, you can do that 2 or 3 times and then fold it again and go this way with it. And boy, it makes a nice package. I know it seems like a lot of work, but I'm telling you what, when you get this back strap home, it will be just like it came off of the animal. It's not going to be dried out. It's not going to be a 1/4 inch of dried out meat on there. And that's the end product, is you have a nice sealed up package. Took you a little bit of time, but it's a sealed up package so where no flies are getting to it, no dirt, no dust. You know, game bags are fine, but there's still dirt and dust that'll get in there, and all kinds of bad stuff. So I like doing this. It just, to me, I've been doing it for 20 years.